You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building.
For sure.
We have the cast of Power. We got Ghost, Angie, Tasha, and Tommy.
And that's how I know I'm invested in the show, because that's who I see when they walk in the room.
That's how I know.
I don't
I
see
was like,
Omari,
that's not our
I
real
don't see
names.
Notori, I don't
Nah,
see Joseph,
nah.
I don't see Leela.
That's their real name.
Word up. Ghost, Tommy, Tasha, and Angie.
There you go.
Yeah. That's who I see.
Now, it comes back this Sunday, July 17th. You
It
guys
sure
moved to
does.
Sunday now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why they push it to Sunday?
That was a graduation.
That's
Sunday's a big day.
League.
That's like big boy.
Sort of
We
like
had to,
Thursdays is
step
for
up.
comedy, Sundays for drama, particularly cable drama. You know, that way people can have their Saturday nights,
Get your
go
Saturday
to
back,
church,
man,
and then
party.
watch Power.
Now, Charlamagne, you got to ask some of these questions because I seen the first episode and I don't want to spoil it.
Yo.
So I'll let you lead with some of these.
I haven't seen the first episode.
I know. That's what I'm going to let you ask. You ask about it.
I mean, I can't wait to watch season 2, first of all, because I want to know how the hell
Season
Kanan...
three. Season three.
My bad.
Yes.
I want to know how the hell Kanan got out that room.
I'm still
I know,
asking
that's-
myself
like
too.
that.
That's a good question.
Because that could
Charlamagne,
either
didn't I
make the
drop-
show, that could make the season real
Because
corny.
I dropped the match right there, right?
Yeah.
Burned him up. don't
I know
what the fuck.
he's hard to kill.
I feel like that's a shout out to Dynasty.
Yeah,
for
it was
Dallas.
a dynasty moment. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's one of those things where we got so much social media coverage after that. Like, yo, this is bull. I thought it was truthful until this moment.
Exactly.
But then people forget, as you said, we walked in and you made us the characters that we are, but everybody forgets he's also the executive producer, so that might have something to do.
That's
You
funny.
won't really understand in the first episode as well either. So that's a good thing.
Oh, so they don't explain how he really got out that room.
He might or he might not be in the first episode.
So this is
let's
the
just say
point in
that.
time where I got to realize Power is just a TV show.
It's just a
Yeah,
TV show.
you might
okay.
have to let go of the idea this is real life.
Now, Ghost, are you leaving the game?
He trying.
Is it over
Yeah,
for
when
you?
the tagline is "Ghost must die," I don't know, man.
Are you
Mark.
leaving the game? Is the game over for you?
I think it's hard to take the game out of the cat. You can take the cat out of the game a little bit, but he and Tommy grew up with Kanan's help at figuring out how to distribute these drugs throughout all of New York, and so I don't really know how much I can leave the game. Problem is, Jamie's skill set doesn't match what Ghost needs. And all of these people hunting or coming after Ghost, like Jamie can't really contend with that. He's just this love-sick puppy who wants, to leave, should I say Tasha or Notori? I'm looking at you,
Tasha.
Charlamagne.
This is,
What should I
don't
say?
confuse the
I'm
audience.
gonna say
They're-
Tasha.
No, yes, Tasha.
So he's just, he wants to
trying
leave
to leave
Tasha.
me.
He don't want to leave the kids. He don't want to leave Tommy. But he wants Angela. He feels like he can find a safe haven with her. He can hide up at least in Angela's world.
Right,
But
but
the problem is her world is like the enemy. She's become like, she's
Can't be
sleeping with the enemy for both of them.
So you done with your baby mama?
I'm
That's
not
his
the baby
wife.
mama.
No,
I'm his
that's his
wife.
wife.
Thank you,
That's his wife.
Charlamagne.
Yeah, I don't-
You know?
I'm sorry.
I don't expect nothing good to happen to you because you left your wife for the side chick. Nothing good comes to guys who do that.
You know that.
And I'm sticking
You
to
know-
that story because that's
You
what
know
I say
that.
Hey,
every weekend when I'm
that's
watching it with my
real.
wife.
That's
Like, that
real.
guy is wrong.
Yeah.
What he's doing is
Yeah.
wrong.
And then what about when your wife goes to the bathroom?
I'm like, damn, Angela bad. I can see why. I can see why.
I can see. That's good.
Sure, you're right.
No, yeah.
Now, Angie, do you have a problem playing that character because you are the side chick, and now people might
No,
look
I
at
don't
you.
have a problem playing the character at all. I have a problem with like people's crazy coming at me.
Oh, they think you're the side chick in real
For
life.
real.
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot like
Especially
whenever
black
you're
women, I'm sure.
sexualized as a character, it inevitably transfers from you the character to you the actress. And like the truth is, I'd rather like drink milkshakes and like fart under the covers at night than.
Did you say fart under the covers?
I sure did.
You are nasty.
Well, we don't want to hear that. Now, we got fantasies about you. Now, I like sucking farts out of
That's
girls'
why-
butts.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
I don't want
This is like
I don't want it to be milkshake driven.
it's like-
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want a natural, organic fart, maybe from
only
some
you.
vegetables.
Nasty
Yeah, it was okay.
Only
Listen,
him.
she was drinking organic milkshakes.
Oh, okay. Got you, got
It
you.
smells like vanilla beans.
And no pun intended.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ruin the fantasy for you.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Now,
If you have a little fantasy about me, I'll just destroy it.
It's over now.
It's over.
So do guys walk up to you and be like, yo, would you be my side chick?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they do.
You know, I
Yeah,
I
they
get
do.
some interesting pictures on social media.
That you trying to show me.
They send you penis pics. all the
Pics?
time.
You should be trying to show me that, DJ.
Wow.
Yo, you know, I got one guy that's harassing the hell out of me. He
Out of
creates
you?
a new Snapchat every day, and he sends me penis pics.
He sends
every
you
day.
penis pics?
Are you
Every day,
what?
be trying to holler at me, be like, yo, you look fly in those jeans today. So,
And he ain't block him yet, by the way.
I be blocking him.
Oh
Think about
my
that. Think about
gosh.
that. Every
Block
day.
him every day.
This is crazy.
Do you get crazy sent to you?
People actually
why you stuttering?
physically.
Yeah.
No, because not on social media. People actually just catch me in the street.
And show you their
I mean, I
penis?
get that too.
That'd be
This is
different.
not about
That'd be
penises,
different.
people. No, I mean, I live in New York. I live in Brooklyn. People are really. I get a lot of love, honestly, but it's more women.
you.
It's more, but it's like inappropriate from guys because they think I'm actually like having sex with Omari. His character, they want to try all the positions we try. It gets really weird. But most of it is just women, just like, yeah, I'm Team Tasha. I'm ready for you, and they want to control the story. They're very passionate.
Because a lot of women can relate. Because women hate
Yeah.
side chicks. They do not like a woman interfering on
Well,
the
and it's just more of the story in general. They really, less than just a side chick. I think people really appreciate that Tasha's a ride or die for her husband, her children. She's the woman that you kind of want to have on your side. If you about to go down, she's gonna really,
It's
hold
interesting
you
though because the
She want 'em to sell-
storyline
she want 'em to
isn't
sell drugs,
clean.
though.
It's not.
That's the
it's-
only part
it's
that
not
Tasha
clean,
doesn't
like
get.
in terms of like the wife. The wife isn't like
not
perfectly a
perfect.
wife.
Yeah.
And then at
She
the
seemed
same
perfect
time,
to me until you came along,
I'm
ruining
no,
it.
she masturbated in the first scene.
I did, in
and she
front of
also
the
doesn't
driver.
uphold the vision of
But
a
hey,
man.
That was
I had to get
effective.
out my
Slept with
frustration.
that.
That was
Masturbation is very
effective.
natural.
There was,
Yes.
yeah, but there's
But
I'm with you.
places where you're rationalized and the places that you don't, right? And so that doesn't make any sense ultimately. Like none of the characters on Power are clean.
Are perfect.
So when people will condemn one with a fervor and defend another with a lot of passion, ultimately that tells on
It tells
the
on-
person.
Oh no, that's true. Because I called Tasha all kind of hoe bitches when she masturbated in that car in front of that driver. I'm like,
Did
see, now
you
that's some hoe
really?
stuff. Now that's ain't what she supposed to do.
You know
See, that's
what?
why
I thought you
wives
had my
lose their
back.
husbands right there because of her trying to get back. You got to be better than us.
But if
She's not
you was
supposed
the
to do
driver,
that.
you would have been cool with it.
I'd have loved it.
See?
But that's why Sean dead now too. though.
True. He went down for the
Charlamagne, the
cause.
guy's still here.
I
Sean
know.
dead.
I know.
Now, Tommy and Ghost, y'all don't see eye to eye in the first episode. It looks like y'all not seeing eye to eye.
No.
Tommy, you trying to start
That's
your
an
own...
understatement.
Yeah, you're trying to start your own situation and operation.
Well, I think the situation, the operation. I think that Tommy, through this journey of season 3, he has to either sink or swim, and I think that we all know that he's gonna live, as much as he can, and then he's got to make this organization work. But I think that once the veil gets removed, he will see how much work he's already been doing by himself anyway, because Ghost has removed himself from the game wisely enough, not saying, hey, Tommy, look at everything you did. Tommy, look at how amazing you've done in the game. He told Tommy, yeah, you're good, but I'm better. And yet he hasn't been doing anything. So once Tommy realizes, I think the fun for me is when Tommy actually realizes, wow, I've been doing this by myself for a long time.
There was a moment in this, I guess, the finale, when I turned to Joe's character and he says, yo, this is the only thing I've ever been good at in season 2. And I go, nah, fuck that, you're great at it. You know what I mean? And it was an ad-lib. It wasn't in the script. And what's ironic about it is the writers have done a great job. If we ad-lib, they sort of allow that to go to,
Right.
a new direction. And so you actually see him on a steroid level in season 3 to me. So Joe's gonna get even more fanfare this year because
Yes,
it's a
he's
coming
killing
out
it.
party for Tommy.
Now you
But I don't see where
terms of
y'all
that.
go from here though, and that's the thing about Power. So many twists and turns because it's like that's your best friend. Now your best friend trying to kill you.
Exactly.
Do y'all ever reconcile later
You got
on?
to. You know
later?
the thing about it? That's a great question. The thing about it, Charlamagne, is when you think about our agenda versus the fair agenda, as smart as they are, as bright as women are, as much as they say, watch out for that, we go stand in it and go, sorry, I had to stand in it to understand what you meant.
Yeah.
We make up. We figure things out. Our battles become reconciled a lot easier than when girls are battling.
After somebody trying to kill you though?
I don't know. I
But
don't
when
agree
they're best
with
friends,
that.
you can't.
I
You
feel
can't.
like I
Generally
agree with
speaking,
him.
absolutely.
Men are just-
absolutely
It's so much different.
so different.
I
But the
agree.
reality is, for them to be best friends and brothers, in an essence, you've had at points in life. I mean, we watch we raised on the mafia films, and you see literally they took Fredo out. I mean, Michael Corleone's character takes Fredo out and gets him taken out, and he's done.
Yeah.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
So it's not that non-truthful in a game of drug dealing and selling. Paranoia becomes a big thing, and people forget Tommy's freaking doing the product. He's doing drugs.
So really, you supposed to Nino Brown and G Money him. You supposed to kill him.
There you go.
I
Well,
mean,
he also
probably.
has the charge
but I am
of
my brother's
Lobos
keeper
to
in
kill
some
you.
ways. Am I gonna do it? You know what I mean? Like, how much is the struggle? How much of the struggle is real in Tommy? How much is he figuring out? And how much have we always seen people underestimating Tommy's savvy and Tommy's intelligence? I mean, time and again it happens.
It's true. And to Lila's point, Lobos is giving you the command to do Ghost in, but Lobos can't matter to. That's the point of your point. Lobos can't, in my opinion, if it's truthful, Lobos can't matter more to him than a 25-year relationship.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you
it's
do,
not
but
that
if you're on
logos
substance,
matters.
if you're on drugs, who knows where Tommy's at? He's also addicted to Holly. He's got that whole other thing. I mean, she's crazy.
She kind of trash too, bro. You can do a little better than Holly, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, well, love is blind.
Hey.
Well, in the first episode, there's a twist with that. But also, do you think your penis game is so strong that Ange won't turn on you? Because she works for the government.
It's not about the
No,
penis game.
no,
That's
it's
a
not the-
total,
it's not the
like,
penis game.
Understanding it.
Yeah,
That Platinos love hard though, man.
I know, huh?
Doesn't matter how you work the
Leela has
sides.
said before in interviews, and I think it's true. She says she cut off a piece of her when she left at 15 years old, and left the neighborhood and did all of that. And so he not only sort of bridges what she missed in terms of the neighborhood guy that she believed could have been better, but also giving her some intimacy that otherwise Greg doesn't allow. She just basically F's Greg. She goes to work. She dominates work, and then when it comes to Andy Bean's character, who's doing a brilliant job playing Greg Knox,
Fantastic.
she basically uses him like she's using everybody to get her wins, her victories. She's got her own ghost going on. So there's an innate attraction that the two of them have, but I don't think it would minimalize the power that Courtney Kemp has written these female characters to have if it was just about the dick game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
also-
Greg
For a
look
lot
like
of
his
women,
dick
it is
game
about
weak,
that.
though.
But I think
I would agree.
It's not a fair comparison.
It's not the
Greg
same.
and Ghost
I mean,
is-
Ghost
yeah.
is.
Let's
yeah.
call it spade
I
on
mean,
that
You're
one.
right.
Yeah, that's
But
true. That's true. And Ghost and Danger is attractive. Andy Bean's character eventually goes to the wrong levels of danger. He's stalking her. He's behind a trash can.
Yeah.
Cause he knows she cheating with a black man.
I don't know if
No,
it's that.
he's the bad guy. It's not that he's just the bad guy.
He knows that he's
a
cheating with the
drug-
bad
the
guy.
bad guy
dealer.
that they're
Yeah.
trying to put in jail. He knows that he's Ghost and believes that Angela is down to protect him. It's a whole thing.
Wait,
It's
but
all
let's
about.
let's go back to Holly for a second, because I
Played
want
by Lucy Walters.
Lucy Walters is amazing, and I'm gonna let Joe speak to this, but like, it's not that Holly's trash; it's that she accepts Tommy entirely for who he is.
Also, for Tommy, I mean, I always thought that Holly's probably exotic to him in some capacity.
I mean,
she's a white girl. I mean, I think
But
in
you
my
have-
mind, Tommy was,
Like the
black
sisters.
women.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
all
his
he
whole
did.
life.
Yeah, that's all he
And
did.
especially black women with red hair. Like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. With his weird mom complex. But then, like, I think that Holly, in some capacity, hey, here's this club. Tommy's not the guy that's going to clubs. And then he sees this, oh, wow. I always felt like she's exotic.
It's a
She,
great scene.
she's like, yeah.
It's a great scene.
Yeah.
When he first sees her, yo, you see me now?
Well,
yeah,
not only
but
that,
Holly stole
Yeah, exactly.
my
I thought she was
earrings.
trash when she stole your earrings.
I mean, and
Yeah.
we're Tommy and Tasha. For me, I was just so hurt that he would defend this random, woman
Yeah.
over his sister. I mean, when
But I
when
found it
Holly
so funny.
when Holly steals her earrings, it shows me she can't be trusted, and he values my opinion. He values the advice that Tasha has. So it's almost like that's a brokenness between the sibling relationship, and that's kind of why I don't trust her.
To Notorious' point, I believe, I didn't mean to cut you off, Al, but I just wanted to add, Notorious' character, what I love about her Lady Macbeth character is that it's all calculated. So her desire for Ghost to remain Ghost and never to be James or Jamie is from a calculated perspective. It's very well thought out.
She's really smart.
She's smart. Holly, to Leela's point, Holly does want Joe's character to remain exactly Tommy.
Sniff the coke, kill people.
Exactly
Yeah.
that. Which somebody could
And get
compare it
money,
to and
get
say, well,
money.
Holly and Tasha are actually similar. Because they both want their men to be marginalized to just that thing they see.
That's
but the
true.
difference is Holly's not necessarily bright.
Yeah,
And that's an understatement.
And she
And
gradually-
she kind of brings him
she's
down.
actually not
like,
smart
I
at
don't
all
want
to
to tell
me.
Tommy, but I feel like she's gonna bring him
But
down.
here's the funny thing that you think,
Which
like
is
when
crazy,
she
'cause
stole
Lucy's so
when
bright.
she stole the earrings, like that was done. She's trash. In the world of power, that is like a misdemeanor when people are like
Oh, yeah.
murdering
People
people.
murdering
That's
people and
true.
going up in
Yeah,
the club
but
and
that
partying
is true.
afterwards.
There's way worse
the bigger
things.
picture,
But
that
y'all
go
got
on.
a
The
circle
bigger
of
picture
trust,
is the
though.
way.
Tommy
There
brought her
it
into the
is.
circle,
Yeah.
brought her to the
This
crib.
is the
y'all
family.
ate,
Yeah.
and she stole.
Yeah.
I fed her.
Yeah, but what about the circle of trust where they leave Tommy out of the fact that they killed Kanan?
Well,
Push that Kanan
some
up.
things are circumstantial
Kanan, put him
to
in-
protect.
Yep.
Prison. I think everything is circumstantial.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like none of the characters are clean. Like it's really hard to argue
Yeah,
really hard
no,
one
it's true.
position.
No,
It's
that's
true.
true. That's true.
Now, in the season premiere, when they introduced the show, they talked about that at first they were kind of, I guess the writers and the people behind the scenes was kind of wary about you and really wasn't 100% with you. How does that make you feel acting now and being successful? Do you go back and flip the bird, get the middle finger, ask for more money?
I know,
From what I heard, all the writers were 100% on
all
board. I think it was the executives,
Who didn't
That's
like?
interesting.
the executives of a network that
producers.
was not in the position it is now
Yeah.
because of Omari Hardwick.
It was,
They were in a different position than they
They
are
didn't see
now.
the
And Power was not the number one show on the number 2 premium cable network. It was like the number 4 premium cable network, and
Yeah.
Power didn't exist yet. So yeah, they probably had some question because they had a lot riding on this, more than they would ever let us in on. And then this is what happened.
Who
That's
didn't
probably
want
what we
Michael
figured.
Jai
Yeah,
White? I ain't gonna front. You and Michael Jai White look like y'all came off the same
That's what
gremlin.
everybody's
Gremlin?
You are hilarious.
He did
He's so
do.
silly.
He crazy.
But they now better recognize.
You know
it.
what? You know what happened?
They
You
better
know what happened
recognize.
was, and actors, listening, they should all hear this. I was privy to the champions of these 3, meaning that everybody wasn't on board with them. You know what I mean? You'd have 5 people
There's
that wanted
always something,
Naturi.
you're right.
You'd have 6 that wanted Joe, but then 3 didn't, and Leela was the same way. So we forget about, because what happens is when you guys humble us with like the reception of the show, and you go, I can't picture a different Tommy,
Right.
a different
Ghost.
Tasha, a different Angie, a
Absolutely.
different Ghost. Then your mindset, to Joe's great point, doesn't go back to pre-production of like, let me think. Omari's good. This is what execs thought. He's a good actor, but up to this point, we've just seen him perhaps steal scenes. He hasn't necessarily been a lead yet. People have always wondered about him. It's a freaking 10-year career at that point. Why hasn't he da-da-da-da-da?
Gotcha.
But in the midst of the race relations conversation that we're having every single day, we got to remember there's not a lot of Omaris in a position to play a character like Ghost prior. Shonda Rhimes, hats off, have done certain things with Isaiah Washington. She's done obviously other things with Columbus Short. We've seen black men. Omar Epps has played on House at one point. I played on shows where I was number 2 on the call sheet. Denzel all the way back to St. Elsewhere and beyond. But nobody's necessarily played a complicated, crazy, brilliant, range-filled character as bountiful as Ghost. And all those colors made the
Who
lights
also has a really good
at
ass.
stars go, I don't
Have a
really
what?
know if he can
Very.
pull it off.
She just said you had a great ass.
Yeah, no.
And so at
That's
the
a
end,
fact.
Gotta
at
have
the
the
end
body.
of the day, what happened in terms of flipping up the bird, because I think that's a good question, I poured it all into Turi, Leela, and Joe.
Yeah.
They knew that I came in with that angst, and I was
Gotcha.
like, I got to prove something. And they aided in that. The 3 of them knew prior that was going on. 50 knew
Yeah,
as
I
well.
remember.
And we all got together and we said, let's prove together, let's prove everybody that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And anybody that was a naysayer about Naturi or Joe or Leela, nobody's like that anymore.
we took
the
it
4
as
of us are now
motivation.
talking to YouTube.
I've had
so.
naysayers
Didn't
my
even
whole
know who I
career.
was.
Some
People
people didn't
do
know
that.
Leela at all.
I mean,
She wasn't known at all.
naysayers is like part of the hustle.
I mean, me personally, I only knew Notori and Omari. I didn't know.
I mean,
Racist.
hey.
And that's the
So
thing. that-
no, I get it. But it's another thing. Just to real quick give a shout out to Chris Albrecht. I mean, also the green light behind shows like The Wire and The Sopranos. Also greenlit Power. And he's the one who, from the network, who also was probably negotiating where everybody fit in this system. And he ultimately allowed this show to go with the trust and the belief in Courtney A. Kemp and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and then Omari Hardwick at the helm. And now we're going into season 3, and I'm quite certain we'll go beyond.
But for
And-
all
and
the
you know what's
naysayers,
ironic?
now what? I
you
just
know
want to
what's-
say,
you know what's
for all
ironic?
the bottled up frustration,
You know what's
now
ironic?
what?
You turned to little Kim just now.
Sorry.
I get serious
Sorry,
because
but you know
people
what's
do that.
but you know what's ironic about it?
It's like,
And that was humbling
see
to
me
hear
now.
from,
Come
from
see me.
Charlamagne. Just for you to even say, I knew Omari and Notori. What's humbling about it is the same guy that is very close to all 4 of us, and that being Chris Albrecht, he did put HBO on the map. He
Yeah.
absolutely did. But ironically, he questioned whether Omari not necessarily could act, but he questioned if I could literally be the face of a show and be what James Gandolfini, rest in peace, was to Tony Soprano.
Got you.
Ironically, the same man that questioned that thought that Joe was perfect for Tommy. So you can have in the same
different
mindset
people,
somebody
yeah.
go,
you.
Tommy, Joe is it. Is Omari it?
Gotcha.
And then y'all end up getting Tommy and Ghost together and going, how could 2 people be
Gotcha.
less cohesive? How
And
could
at
that
the-
work
I
any
mean,
less?
I don't
So-
ever look at
way.
naysayers as necessarily bad because of their thing.
Yeah.
I
No,
always,
it's
I
good.
would always
It-
prefer to be
question
in the
is good.
underdog position and come up from
I
behind.
agree.
Now,
Now hold on. Look, Leela said that Omari had a great ass, right? I wonder how that works. Because y'all do a lot of sex scenes and stuff, and Omari, you a married man.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is actually because, like, he's
Then
the
she
only
said underdog
man's ass
and
I've
coming
ever
up
heard
from
discussed
behind.
by other heterosexual
Ooh.
men.
Damn, Ace.
I know it all.
Why I'm saying that is because, like, he's the only man's ass that I've ever heard discussed by other heterosexual men. You'll hear, like, dudes.
I don't know if we should call those men out. Like, should we call them out?
Yeah, they're probably the same dudes that are asking Envy for a penis.
Right?
It's the same
We should watch out for those penis pics.
Ain't no straight men.
Let's keep
Ain't no
it collective.
I was like, I don't know.
Talking about
But
Omari
to
got
your-
a
Exactly. What the shit is that?
Exactly.
Come on,
But
man.
to your point, the sex scenes are
I
crazy
thought
in
y'all
our
called that
show.
out better than us.
No. But to Charlamagne's point, and what Leela's saying about our sex scenes, of course we all have. I mean, she's got a great body. Look at Joe, he's killing it. I mean, Omari, I don't know, I'm doing what I can. But at the end of the
You
day,
got a great body.
Look great.
Ah.
Look great.
thank you. Don't go there, Charlamagne. I
The
gotta
dive of
watch you.
chocolate.
I gotta watch you. Good dive of chocolate. You're so sweet. No, but at the end of the day, the sex is used in a really cool way. Like Power is so well written that even the sex scenes have a story. Even the sex scenes have intention.
Courtney Kemp, our creator, has done an incredible job of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she creates these moments where Ghost is in dealing with frustration of his day or killing someone or taking his frustration out on Angela or him and Holly or even me. The sex is intentional. It's smart. It's done in a way that's not gratuitous. I'm really proud of
You know
her.
how do y'all
what
real life partners deal with that?
Well, you know what I was going to ask you? See, it's funny, Charlamagne.
Because she just said you had a great ass.
Nah,
Your
but
wife
come
at
on.
home like, yo, now look now.
She's like, yeah, I
Y'all
love
ain't
Leo,
it. Y'all
and I
ain't
agree.
it.
And you know what I was
Cameras
gonna-
ain't rolling.
But I never got to ask anybody this. I want to know, because everybody talks about how many couples watch it together.
Right.
Yeah, we were just.
Is it nice foreplay to watch us do
Absolutely. After the premiere,
I never have asked
banged
that.
my wife.
It
you
depends,
banged Angie
man.
on the desk. You
Word.
turned her, and Angie did it. Angie was like, I don't want this position. I'm turning around.
I
Oh,
can't.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
I'm
that's
thinking
a
of too
I
much.
can't.
No, but what? Have you ever thought about it?
Absolutely.
Think about it.
This is
Think
TMI.
about it.
Once
No,
your
I
wife
love it.
gets, once your wife de-escalates from being upset that you're cheating on your wife,
you're right.
so
That's true.
blatantly.
Oh.
You gotta
So
go
then
back
they
on
accept
it.
that.
Yeah,
Okay, that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
So then they won it.
You be like, I'm gonna knock you like Omari did, and turn around
On the desk.
So
it's
you
kind
got a
of
man,
episode
Leela?
one.
Do you got a man in real
Oh,
life?
hell no, not right now.
She said, hell.
See, and that's the thing. You
hard.
married,
You didn't
she's
look at
single.
Charlamagne in the eyes when you said that.
You don't have a man.
No.
You married, she's single. She said you had a
His
great
wife
ass.
knows I
Does your
don't
wife get
swim.
upset about stuff like that?
Notori and
Joe's
Elle have been
married.
great sisters to her, so they all figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all figure
We're
it out.
all in.
She's
I
a
mean,
tough chick.
different
very
stages of
secure
life,
chick.
but security is part of it. You know,
It's necessary, man.
Joe has a beautiful wife, and he's having lots of sex this season. So look out.
I mean, radio's funny because from as long as Donnie Simpson was doing it and beyond, right?
Donnie Simpson, the OG, salute to him.
OG.
As long
Absolutely.
as, long
Shout
as he
out
was
to
doing
Donnie.
it, you always. I mean, Joe's from Chicago, Tori from Jersey,
Shout out to Jersey.
Omari's from ATL, Leela's from
Sacramento.
upstate. I say upstate Bay Area. Upstate.
No, it's not the Bay Area.
Like
It's
Napa.
the Valley.
It's the valley of the Bay Area. So radio was so big to all of us. If you think about
It
the
was.
different regions that we come from, but in reality, you guys always hear, you and Envy always hear, oh, a face for radio. But come on.
That's true.
But come on. You and Envy happen to be handsome men, and you're doing radio. You don't have your wives at some point
getting
going,
dick
are you
pics.
staying out too
But
late?
But they ain't having
handsome.
sex
Yo, Omari,
on
quit
TV.
calling me
but
handsome.
Wait, but do you
You
not?
got a nice ass, brother. since you can,
Why is this? This is too much.
since we trading compliments,
Yes,
We're not scared. We're not scared.
appreciate that.
Male
Not
flirt.
scared at the Breakfast Club.
But you know what happens, Charlamagne. If
Yeah.
you and Envy stay out late at some,
Yeah.
you know your wives are like, you
Absolutely.
gotta go to that.
Yeah.
You got.
No, it's real. That's real.
So you got to bring them around to make them feel comfortable.
bring them
Exactly.
They want to meet them.
Yeah.
Let me meet Leela. Let me meet Notori. Yeah.
That's what I
They
do.
met
I mean,
halfway. They met halfay.
My boyfriend knows, like, everybody knows
We all
each other, and
close.
we're all
We all
close.
close.
So we hang
It's
out.
weird. I know we
It's a
killing
mutual
fans right now.
respect.
Fans are so
Yeah,
mad
I'm
at us
sorry.
right now.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah.
So that's that. But yeah.
Is it true Power has a nudity clause?
What do you
That
mean?
somebody has to appear nude at some point during the run of the show?
Well, no, it's in your contract.
It's their option.
Yeah.
Really?
The network has the
That
option. The
is-
network
Where'd you
has
hear
the
that,
option.
Charlamagne?
You don't
Who told you
have
that?
to.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
that's like,
'Cause that's right.
you know our contract.
You know y'all had leaks and all kind of stuff. Right?
You know, because they be hacking that.
You know they hacked
me.
Notori's
They hacked
email.
me.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
think
heard
Charlamagne
about that
knows
on
that
TMZ.
pretty well.
I don't know
nothing about nothing.
I don't know nothing.
They tried to. Yes.
Remember
you-
that?
And then
you
they were
helped.
hollering, and
That
then
was-
and then
that
apparently,
was-
because
no,
Curtis
it
called me.
I didn't see.
No.
Curtis called me.
They-
50 called me and
Yeah,
was
it was
like,
crazy.
"Yo, they hacked Notorious. Change it." I didn't change it, but she was the only one that got
And
got.
I actually
Everybody
was
trying
talking
to
with
get
the feds.
script.
How ironic.
Right.
I was talking to
Well,
Angela's
I got
people.
totally independently.
I mean,
of
hacked
power.
to the point where they tried to steal the scripts
They were
and
trying to
sell
take
them.
scripts.
That's like the craziest thing I've ever heard
That's
of.
a successful
He'd have been
Because
better off
that
trying to
means
sell
the
your
sh-
pictures naked. That was better.
That just
Well-
feels like
better,
a
yeah.
really bad business plan.
It's
probably
not a good idea.
business plan.
He actually
but
got
yeah,
caught.
we have to we I guess Joe was going to speak on it. We do have to be open.
Yeah, it's the option. It's it's a nudity option
Yeah,
clause.
there is a
so
nudity
that's
You
like
might see
they have the option of requesting you be
You know a lot,
naked, and you
Charlamagne.
can't just say no. I won't
How do
be.
you-
You
how do
know
you
what
find
you're
this
getting
stuff
into.
out? How do you know this?
So you might see
So-
Rotimi's character graduate this year, Dre, to I don't know.
We're
The
just
four of
throwing
us,
him to the
sex.
wolves.
the four of us feel like the sex trophy has to be passed.
Passed on. I was season 1. We were season 1.
We've been.
No,
I mean,
seasons.
Joe and last
I've
year
been off
Lucy.
3
like,
seasons.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be
He had a
retired.
threesome.
I have a
He had a threesome.
I'm
Yeah.
passing it. I'm passing the
Now, with
torch.
everything going on in the African American community,
Yeah.
is that put into the show at all? Because you see that every once in a while that a show will take something out of real life and put it. Do we see that at all?
See, Leela, you've been vocal.
Definitely.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I can't wait. Yeah, well, to your question, and then Leela, you can speak on it too. I think Courtney is going to probably add more,
She'll do
and that's
something
one
to
of
it.
the things
Right.
that
Knowing her,
coming
she
up
will.
in season 4. If there will be a season 4, it will be discussed. So I think we're all, we talk about it amongst each other. I'm really upset.
I went on
and
Huffington Post
been
yesterday and
out
went
there
in.
marching. It's frustrating, and we all talk about how this Black Lives Matter is just about more so making sure the nation understands why our lives matter and why we're being ignored and not put in a position of feeling valuable in America. It's frustrating.
We made, Joe made a really good point yesterday. That's a good point, Notori. Joe said yesterday, and I didn't think about it. He said we're kind of subtly doing our job in this show by even having the diversity of cast that we have. So if conversations are needed within the community, I said it yesterday on Black Voices on Huffington Post. My thought was, everybody keeps talking about conversations are needed between policymakers, between politicians, but the reality is the conversations are needed between the young men, sometimes literally the young men, but hopefully at least a representative of the young man that's being basically hunted in the streets.
Yeah.
Between the policymaker, between someone that works for Congress, between cops, to sit down with the kid that they're afraid to actually say out loud that they fear.
That they're afraid of us.
They're actually afraid to say that they're afraid of us. Right. So for a kid to be thought of in a particular way because his pants are sagging or because he's splitting verbs and not articulating the way that they expect us to speak.
And sometimes you don't even have to do anything.
The reality of life is you can't necessarily diminish, and we would be remiss if we didn't, champion Joe's point that at least we are of a diverse conversation. New York happens to be the backdrop of that. It's probably on the call sheet because it's so diverse as a city, but in terms of like the cops pulling over black while driving, ironically, Joe's character, the bad character, played by a Polish American man, last year he was pulled over. Driving while black. But we embrace it because of what Tommy has grown up in. But to really go there, I guess to Notori's point, knowing that Courtney is as bright as she is, we'd have to piggyback it off of Tariq, played by Michael Rainey Jr., who is exactly the age of these kids.
Yeah.
He's in that. So I don't really know if we can go 6 or 7 seasons if we're lucky and not address this in some capacity.
Now, whose idea was it to
Leela said she actually posted Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and I posted it in the context of articles because, there are models of police departments that have been bad and have turned things around. NPR did this really great piece of journalism called Cops See Things Differently, and it took 2 hours. The first episode was really useful to really have cops candidly speak about their mindset because so many of them feel that how can we be having an issue if so much of the time we're intervening between black on black violence?
Yeah.
And then the second part of the issue is getting into the hard numbers and the gap between we, the public, seeing a video versus how they see the video and how there's this huge disconnect between us watching the same thing and us feeling that two different things are happening. And then they did an example of a police department going incredibly awry and of them just basically abusing the community to fulfill quotas and like kind of just
LAPD.
oppressing low-hanging fruit that couldn't defend for themselves. And then the second part of the article was actually really inspiring It started discussing something called racial bias. We have all these implicit biases, like why do you like Toyota better than Ford? Well, that also bleeds out to race, where there's a lot of cops that don't consciously feel like they're racist. That's why they fight it so much. Right. But that's still not taking into consideration implicit bias. And they've done a series of studies. And the interesting thing is that when you flash images, all people, including black men, have a higher rate of seeing black men as a threat. And when it comes,
including black men?
Yes, including black men.
Well, you know what's interesting?
I can see that.
Well, let me finish really quick.
But the black cop, they talked about that on NPR as well. And I've always wanted to do a documentary interviewing what black cops feel.
Well, and it's
about,
like
because they can't stand up. They don't stand up and speak out against the negativity that's going on in their own
but it's
police
also
force.
this thing of like, if you're in a series, it's almost like PTSD, where if you're in a series of negative experiences, you start developing these unconscious biases, and that really comes into play when you're holding a gun and why something escalates and you react. Because people are like, well, maybe they'll think about it more. And a lot of times when someone's capping someone, they're not thinking, they're reacting. And so the departments that have turned it around have used training programs to help people really balance those biases and to kind of train them with those biases in place, like knowing that's going to happen, or other programs where like they make the police community also have positive associations with the black community, you know, where they're playing basketball so that you get a balance of attention. And I just, that's as much as I can speak to it. I don't know. Like, I just sort of look, the best way that I can be an ally is to disseminate information and to also have like calm conversations with the people who see things differently.
And sleep with black men. Now, Joe, let me ask you a question. Right? What do you think say to people who say that art influences kids to act negatively? So like a show like Power.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I think it can go both ways. I think that if people are actually having conversations, I think that a show like Power would I think ultimately lead to positive conversations and discussing actions that have consequences. And this obviously isn't a very fruitful way of getting out of the hood, but you know, somebody like 50, like, you know, who was put into negative situations where he had to make choices that brought him to a certain level to allow him to change his life into, you know, an incredibly successful businessman is probably a better way to go. So it's like
now producer.
Yeah, now producer of a successful television show, his first of many, I'm sure. And then to go back and say, well, see this example that made this, if you actually go back, I think it will be. But I think that if people take it at, you know, kind of at face value, I think it could lead to people just saying, "Oh, I want to emulate this character that I see on here," and especially even to your point of walking in, like you guys are those characters, and like
we have to tell people,
and the reality of it. So I think it can be backlash, but I think that there's nothing different than any other show that's ever been on that could do that, and I think that. To speak to what Omari said, that really just the diversity of cast and seeing a white guy in what we typically would put a African-American male in that position, I think is important, just even in terms of conversation and in terms of people's, like Leela was saying, visually, you see this into
which
this.
Makes the show is so smart to that. That's why I love what Power does, and I think that's why the community and all people have connected to our show. I think that's why we're the #1 show on Starz. I think that's why we've been able to build up the network.
In Starz
I think
history.
in Starz history. Thank you. But it's unbelievable when you see the unexpected. You don't expect Tommy to look like Joe initially, maybe on paper, the words and the way his swag. Tommy's got so much swag. They're like, damn, you know, all my friends want to date him. At the end of the day, it's changing the narrative and flipping the script.
But not only that, it's you guys are relatable. And this is what I was going to say. You guys move like a startup record label, meaning you guys are on the road. You're talking to kids in schools. You're at the clubs.
Yeah, y'all together. I can't believe y'all together.
Label.
And I haven't seen that
love
in
that.
a
That takes me
long
back.
time, you know?
That's how it used to be.
Essence, I seen y'all.
That says a lot.
You know,
bro.
that shows a lot because people get to
experience.
see you and say, damn, they are from where I'm from. They're from
Exactly.
Sacramento, from New Jersey, from, you know,
what's
and
up.
people don't get to see
That's
that, and I
super
respect
cool.
that.
So
a
who's
lot.
your favorite group, Natari? Them or 3LW? Like, who would you rather be? Who would you rather be with right now?
I'm moving with them all day, every day.
Right. Thanks for
And I
saying
would
that,
never,
by the
I
way,
never go
man.
back. Definitely.
never going back?
Never going back.
How close is the actual cast in real life, though? Like outside of the promo and marketing.
lot of
Pretty
love.
cool.
I think people are shocked at how
Yeah.
what good friends we are.
I see
Like,
them a lot together.
we-
That's
we-
the crazy thing.
Whether even it's for press or even just, you know, the start of a season, getting together or going to the gym. Or I ran into Joe actually because we live near each other at the gym or whatever it is, or they get smoothies. Or I think there is something special about this power family.
Yeah, we genuinely like each other.
I genuinely
and
don't
respect
think
each
you
other.
get this in any other show. Like, I mean, people try to compare power to different things, but we are unique and we are
Envy, I always-
unique in our connection.
I knew Notori for about 8 years, and I always
We
now
go
it's
way
eight-
back.
now
Actually,
it's
when
8
my
years.
first movie, Notorious,
Now
he
it's
came
8
up to me
years.
and told me, you know,
But
I'm proud
I
of him.
remember when Leela and Notori and Joe came in, I kept thinking the and obviously you and Charlamagne work together, and you got all of these people around that work with you. But I always embraced what the Jews' perspective was in business, and particularly specifically the business of Hollywood and entertainment, and that was
You might want to say Jewish people, just
Jewish people,
just in
Jewish
case.
people.
It's like,
Yeah.
the Jewish. Let's take that
the
back.
Jewish community. I always thought it's really cool to have this concept, and it's a real play. 50 talks to me a lot about power and what it really is, and power is really being able to influence who gets hired, and who you want to work with. And I always thought it was a really cool thing that, as I got older, I started thinking, you know what? Maybe the greatest people are not in necessarily the top positions next to an Adam Sandler, for example, I think is half Jewish. But the reality of life is, if he gets to work with the same people that we kept seeing in the early comedies in the 90s and 2000s, it's probably because he's like, I like working with him.
Right.
So
Look at Spike Lee.
So
created
for
Denzel's
me,
career.
I got lucky because I really liked Joe in the chemistry read. I really liked Leela in the chemistry read, and I had already known and loved Notori. So my thought was, well, that part's cool. I don't need to really say that to the execs. Let that be my card that I hold safe to me that I liked him. But then what was really dope was they were good. So if that's ice,
Thank you.
it should almost be icing on the cake. It should go the other way, where you really like working with somebody. Now they can't obviously they have to be adequate at what you've wanted them to bring to the table, but I just think it's a great perspective that we haven't necessarily figured out. And a lot of times we want to support things that are not necessarily good or good for you. But if you got people that are next to you that are good for you,
Lift them up.
not only lift them up, it's counterintuitive to not freaking work with them. It's a short life, man. It goes around real quick. It ain't
Well,
9
we have
lives.
really
So,
long hours.
Yeah. Our show is hard to shoot.
you know, so it helps that we don't
16
mind hanging out
16-hour
when we're off
days.
the set.
Wow,
It
for
really
one
does
episode?
help.
No,
A day.
days. This
Oh,
is like
shit.
11 day an episode. Like she said, 16 hours.
We
Club-
usually
one of the club
we
scene
usually
one time was about 10
14,
hours.
18 hours.
Yeah,
man.
he
That's
came
just
and
one
hung with
scene.
us.
Imagine
on
how
set.
tired the
I was
crew
actually
Envy.
is.
on that episode.
You
I
were
mean, the
on
fight
that
scene-
episode.
It was like
The fight
10
scene,
seconds.
Charlamagne,
When are you
between
coming
me and
back?
50.
Come back and kick
10
it with
hours.
us.
You know, I got to talk to my
Wow.
manager.
Just the
man,
fights.
make sure I'm
Yeah,
okay.
see-
Right.
see
Because
what-
they have other
blocking
things
the
on that
thing.
docket that they're
That's
getting
funny.
in at the same location.
You know,
so.
they shoot long. That's why everybody's so mad. We empathize with everybody going, yo, why does it take so long to come back?
Yeah, sorry.
But in reality, to your point, Envy, we were a word of mouth thing versus the shows that were being
Like,
compared to us.
That is a fact.
We
We
were
were
the
word of
hustle.
mouth. So we actually
That's true,
now
true.
with and our publicist now Washington is here. She could speak to it. We had to promote in a better, more constructive.
That's how we started. That's how the Breakfast Club started.
You had to
And
media.
y'all
promote. And so
took it by storm.
we
just
can't
by word of
necessarily
mouth.
promote if the show is back so quick. We need
Yeah,
time to kind of.
that's a really good point. So
I started watching it on Twitter.
Did
because
you
I
for
kept
real?
seeing everybody
Wait,
talking
what?
about power. I'm like, what the hell is power? So by the time I started watching it, y'all was like 6 episodes into the first
To
season.
season 1.
Yep.
really,
Yep.
well, I'm glad you caught
That's
up.
good.
Well, it starts this.
No, hold
comes
on, one
back
more
this
question.
Sunday. What?
How hard is it for you to remain professional, Omari? Because you
What
get
you
sex
mean,
scenes
bro?
with Natari
Oh, that-
and Leela. Like,
You know
Leela,
what?
you ever feel him get
The
hard?
females love
Stop
it.
Natari, do
it.
you ever feel him get
Stop.
hard?
Like, here's the
There
thing.
it
It's
is.
He's like a big brother. This
Joe
is
goes,
weird.
Joe goes,
He's
Envy
still
almost
human.
ended it. Charlamagne went back in.
I can't.
This is where people
There's no
are,
sexiness.
This is where people aren't understanding. Like, the hardest part about the sex scene is dealing
His penis.
with people seeing it afterwards and thinking it's real.
Gotcha.
First of all, this dude has a cocksock on that's so fucking
what?
tight.
Well, no.
That-
Oh, you gotta wear. Okay,
Nothing.
see, that's what I want to know. You gotta wear a
Oh,
cocksock.
cock-
we
sock.
wear.
And they wear-
We
And
wear
we
protect-
wear protection as well. Like
Yeah.
that. Like if he
Over
slept with
eyes.
that, it would castrate him like a bull. It would fall off his. Would fall off
It
and
hurts.
die. And it is not. We like
It's
the
not
fact that we
fun.
make it sexy. Like if you came in and watched, you'd be like, "Damn, they do a really good
It's
job."
like, and then sometimes things
Cut.
fall off.
It is
it
Go
gets
back. I
sweaty.
mean,
you think it
after a
is.
while, you feel like what?
It's like we're moving in weird positions.
Even though it's a small
have
crew,
to-
there's still like 30 people.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait, how
this
many
has
people?
gotta-
30.
it's still
Easily
like,
30 people
yeah,
watching you.
Even if it's a closed set, you still have people watching you. Like, yeah, get it, Ghost.
You know?
Get it,
Charlamagne,
Ghost.
there's sex scenes
It's not.
where the
it's
camera
not,
operator
No,
is
I'm
standing
saying
on
while
the
I'm
bed.
saying get it, Ghost.
So
Get
when
it,
you and
Ghost.
your
They're
wife
on, like,
are watching,
Yeah.
y'all are watching
would
from
be
an
really
angle that you're thinking he's on the bed while we're moving.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh, that's good to know. So next time I
Yeah.
don't have to be in that position, and that's
No, you ain't gotta
impossible.
do
That's a
that
camera
position.
trick.
Yes.
Okay.
You
So
ain't gotta
don't
do that
even
position.
worry. We're good.
Yeah.
Got you.
But we're excited and grateful. I just want to say shout out to all the fans who've been with us, like you said, like a startup label.
Thank you, New York, man. Thank
yes,
you, New York.
New York
Really.
City.
Thank you, New York City.
The people who have been riding with us when we were a little bitty 8-episode show that nobody knew. Like, what's Power?
Curtis said from day one.
It means a lot.
He said this show is going to blow. And I'm like, damn.
Mind you, he told Olivia she was gonna blow too. So
Oh,
let's not act like.
don't say that.
Let's not act like.
Don't say that, Charlamagne.
I can't.
Don't say that.
I can't
You know what the
take
worst
it.
part of it is? Five is probably listening and laughing, but what's Olivia doing to that comment you just made?
Wanting to guest star on Power.
Power.
Yeah,
Probably-
You know what?
Football player, I think now.
probably does.
How do you control him?
I
We
know.
need
Just
to.
let him go. Just let him go.
How many seasons y'all got written? 5 already, right?
What'd you say? How many? What?
Seasons written.
We didn't get the public
I
announcement
don't
that
know.
season 4 is back, so it's
Yeah.
not made
Yeah, I
official yet. But
So we're hopeful that the numbers are huge, so everybody
Yeah, we
should
need
watch this
everybody to
Sunday
watch.
at
I'm
9
hoping.
p.m.
What I'm
Thank
hoping
you.
is that when they bring back 4, they actually make an announcement that 4 and 5 or that we got 4 and 5.
Dope.
That's what I'm putting out there. So we'll see if
Well,
that
this
happens.
Sunday, 9 p.m. on Star.
Yes.
Sunday, be there.
Appreciate you guys for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so
Thanks, Andy.
much.
The cast of Power. It's the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast,
Good morning.
breakfast. Peace.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in